tell her.
Guerrero
Cannonball.
just wasted a cannonball. They weren't paying attention. Dropped it right through the chute.
Jeff.
What's that?
I said, oh, please.
Jonathan getting frustrated by me.
Wait, no, not that kind of comeback. Penners and propes, internet. My name is Peridiam, and sometimes I feel like Jeff labels every other Survivor challenge as a comeback. The greatest comeback of all time. Or maybe just in this episode. Well, let's dig deep and count down what I believe are the top 10 actual greatest individual challenge comebacks of all time. I mean, until the next episode. Actually, if I just could have your ear for a second, before I get this list underway, I have two things that I want to mention. First, I have started a second channel, a clip channel, for all the clips I edit together each week. If you ever want to watch just my clips without my lovely voice, check it out, subscribe, expect several uploads each week. Think of it like an archive of random Survivor and Big Brother moments. Second, honorable mentions. I decided not to make this video a top 15, but if I were to, I would have included these 5 challenge comebacks. Colby in episode 11 of the Australian Outback, PG in episode 12 of China, Jay in episode 8 of One World, Penner in episode 8 of the Philippines. Yes, I decided not to put him in the top 10, I'm sorry. And finally, and almost regrettably, Joey Amazing from episode 13 of Co Wrong. What can you say other than Joey Amazing getting it done at 71?
Very interesting situation. And now Joe has time on his side. Doesn't need to race, can take his time, and could win it right here. Ty is out of bags, Michelle is out of bags, everybody's out of bags except Joe. Joe down to 2 bags, gotta sink them both. And he has his fourth. Joe gets it done at 71.
Anyway, here's number 10. In episode 13 of season 25, The Philippines, at number 10, we have Malcolm winning immunity at the final 5 after he falls off a rope bridge early on, is set back a few minutes, but eventually manages to outpace everyone at the puzzle. He makes it look so easy. And that's going to be a recurring theme with comebacks in Survivor. The puzzle is always the great equalizer.
Malcolm falls off. A huge setback for Malcolm. He was right there at the end. Now has to go back to the start. Malcolm lost a lot of time in one of the most important immunity challenges in this game. Malcolm, dead last, has to redo the entire course. Malcolm's across now. He's going to get back in this. Everybody working on the maze. Malcolm, who fell out of this early, making a lot of progress out of nowhere. Coming from behind, Malcolm completes his maze. This could be a come from behind! Malcolm wins immunity!
Coming in at number 9, we have a different breed of golden boy. We have Superfan Spencer from episode 12 of season 28, Cagayan. At the final 5, there is this tiring puzzle obstacle course that involves untangling ropes, putting together 2 different step puzzles, and then a 4x3 slide puzzle. Tony gets out to an early lead, reaches the slide puzzle before anyone else, has a good couple minutes on Spencer, but my god, Tony has no idea how to do a slide puzzle. Spencer arrives and is very methodical and passes Tony faster than you can say madman who speaks llama. One man's comeback is another man's blown lead.
Tony sliding pieces around. Tony with a huge time advantage. Question is, does he know how to do slide puzzles? Tony working on the slide puzzle, sliding pieces all over the place, rapidly. Does he know what he's doing? Or has he just lost his mind after 36 days? And he's got it. Spencer, start working on your slide puzzle. It is Tony and Spencer now working on the puzzle. Tony's had a big lead, sliding pieces around like a madman. Spencer is studying the puzzle. Huge lead slipping away. Spencer has fought his way back, and this would be a huge comeback. Jeff! Spencer thinks he has it. An incredible comeback! Yes! Spencer wins immunity! You solved that so fast, I barely saw it happen.
The 8th greatest comeback is also at the final 5, 3 straight now. It's from episode 13 of season 21, Nicaragua, and it's when Fabio comes from behind in a trivia and puzzle challenge in the rain with his life on the line to seize the day. This challenge involved the players answering questions about Nicaragua, then putting together a 22-piece puzzle. Fabio is the only person to get a question question wrong, which really sets him back. But between Chase losing a piece to Holly and Sash just not being able to figure the puzzle out, Fabio proved he was not to be underestimated. Probably should have voted him out before Benry.
Fabio, wrong! Frustrated, tosses his pieces. He's got to head back out. Fabio now back with his second bag, while Chase, Holly, and Sash are all on their third bags. Holly has it right. She's working on the puzzle. Fabio and Dan way behind. Fabio now back with his third bag. Does he have it right? He does. Fabio now working on the puzzle, but he's got to make up a lot of time. It is Sash with a huge lead right now. Holly trying to get into it. Fabio was behind, but he has caught up quickly. We got a race. Fabio has made up a lot of time. It is still Fabio and Sash. Fabio, very close. Fabio has it. Fabio wins immunity.
I'm missing a piece. Wow.
Number 7 goes to Sydney from season 32 Co-Wrong in episode 12 at the final 6. This is a challenge that involves being patient and being careful with your hands. You have to spell the word immunity backwards while balancing the letters on a wobbly table that you control with a rope. And I gotta say, the best part about this challenge is how Jeff spends the entire time telling us how Sydney is going really slow and is out of it, and everyone else is outpacing her. And then all of a sudden, the tables turn when they all drop their blocks one by one, and guess what? Yeah, there's Sydney all alone when the dust settled, proving that the old adage holds true. Slow and steady wins the race. Also, I just gotta say, imagine being in Sydney's shoes while Jeff is saying all of this to you, and you're just like, Jeff, shut up. I know what I'm doing.
Sydney in dead last right now. Literally moving like she can't walk. Everybody else fighting to get back in it. Sydney still in dead last, heading back with her third. Completely out of this challenge right now. Joe dumps everything after leading the entire challenge. Michelle drops. It is now tied. Aubrey drops. And just like that, Ty drops. And now Sydney's in second place. Jason dumps. It is now Sydney in the lead. Unbelievable turnaround. Say what you want about Sydney's approach. She has not dropped this entire challenge. Everybody chasing Sydney. Sydney now only a few feet away from winning immunity. Sydney has 1 foot up there. She's got 2. Sydney wins individual immunity.
The 6th greatest comeback is the little engine that could at the final 5. Oh geez, again? Something to be said about the endgame and turning on the boosters. Well, the first final 5 anyway. There's a couple of final 5s in these seasons with Redemption Island. We're talking about season 27, Blood vs. Water. In episode 13, we saw Sierra fall behind at the beginning where the players had to weave a buoy through an obstacle, then solve a 32 block word scramble. Right out of the gate, Sierra fell behind very early. She's a slow swimmer. Not everyone is Dolphin Boy and built to be in the water. She was the last player to reach the word scramble, but managed to solve it before anyone else. This is a 32 block puzzle. You are going to have to dig deep or die pegged, as Jervis had spelled out, and that's what she did. Not dying pegged. She dug deep. I decided not to put this one in the top 5 because word scrambles are just super difficult, and I don't blame the other players too much for not figuring it out so quickly, but still, by that same token, mad props to Sierra.
Jervis and Sierra bringing up the rear. Jervis is even beating Sierra, and Jervis is no star in the water. Sierra finally to her platform. Sierra is still struggling, giving up a lot of time in a big immunity challenge. Sierra is dead last in this challenge. Sierra, the last one to the platform to start untying her bag of letter tiles. Sierra has her letter tiles. She can start working on it. She is way behind right now. This is a common survivor phrase. You've heard me utter a phrase very similar to this season. Sierra not giving up. She was last here, but she's in it. Sierra trying different combinations for these last 2 words. She's moving very quickly. Sierra thinks she has it, and she does. You are going to have to dig deep. Sierra wins immunity!
Number 5 had to be here, deservedly in the top 5. It's from the Final Four of Season 23 South Pacific in the finale, the final immunity challenge of the season, really, to determine the winner. And it was one of those 5 obstacle course station challenges with an 8-piece flower puzzle at the end. Ozzy was in this challenge, and because he lost, by default, it kinda has to be included. I mean, $1 million was on the line here, and this is a challenge that the biggest challenge beast in the history of the show, all he has to do is win. Ozzy is often regarded as the greatest challenge beast in Survivor history, and as you might expect, he easily overcomes each of the 5 stations and is the first player to reach the puzzle. And I gotta say, he's not a slouch at puzzles either. If you look back at the history of the challenges that Ozzy's won, he's actually pretty good at just about everything. Meanwhile, Sophie has to deal with Albert getting in her way at about every station, or rely on Coach over there doing this, and this comeback is made even more impressive. Sophie gets to the puzzle third, but comes out on top, seizing the day and eventually the season.
Ozzy quickly through the first obstacle. Sophie and Albert on the same first leg. Ozzy has his second bag. He's heading back. Ozzy back with his third bag. Albert making it difficult for Sophie. It's already tough enough. Now she's got the weight of Albert, making it even more uneven. Ozzy now back with his 4th bag. Ozzy has his 5th and final bag, and he's heading back. Sophie coming back with her 4th bag. Albert's gonna head her off. Somebody gonna have to give way. Ozzy with a huge lead. Do not panic, you will have time. Anybody can win this challenge still, even with the huge lead Ozzy had. Sophie has her first piece of the puzzle. Ozzy had a huge lead, and it is gone. Ozzy has 2 pieces. Coach still with nothing. Albert still empty-handed. Ozzy has his 3rd piece. Coach turns to watch now. Ozzy still fighting. Sophie wins final immunity!
The 4th greatest individual challenge comeback is similar to number 5, except the challenge itself is so incredibly grueling that I just had to put it higher on the list. Number 4 is the final immunity challenge from season 29 San Juan del Sur, when Jacqueline managed to come from behind to beat Natalie in the end with the big puzzle. This challenge was painful. Players had to climb up a 57-step staircase 3 times. That's 171 total steps after being starved for 38 days in the beating hot Nicaraguan sun. Multiple stations were involved that added fuel to this exhausting fire, as well as a fireman's pole and a slide into some hay. It was a lot. Jacqueline fell behind early, was in 3rd up until the puzzle, but managed to piece it together first, then actually literally fall down the pole in exhaustion, and still go on to win the final immunity.
Jacqueline taking a long time on that first obstacle. And it's Keith and Natalie both with 3 bags. Jacqueline still working on that 3rd bag. Jacqueline quickly falling behind in this final challenge. Jacqueline is falling out of it right now. It is Keith and Natalie both coming back with their 4th bags. Natalie has a big head start working on this puzzle. 38 days, taking its toll. Jacqueline exhausted, can barely open the bags. Natalie already working on her puzzle. Jacqueline struggling even to get the pieces out of the bag. That's what Survivor does to you. You last long enough, it will kick your butt. Natalie still with a bit of a lead, but not much. Jacqueline starting to pick up the pace. Her puzzle's starting to come together now. Jacqueline with another piece. Jacqueline is now back in this challenge out of nowhere. I'd written her off. Jacqueline has her puzzle complete. You all right?
Yeah.
Here comes Natalie. Jacqueline heading back. Does she have the right numbers? Jacqueline's come from behind and has a shot to win it. Does she have it? Yes! Jacqueline wins! Individual immunity, guaranteed a spot in the final 3. Out of nowhere.
Crazy.
Perfect timing. proves once again, never ever give up in this game.
The third greatest challenge comeback is similar in spirit to number 4. There's a kindred bond between the two as they have a remarkably similar challenge structure. I'm talking about the final 6 immunity challenge of season 40, Winners at War. When Michelle fell behind everyone else after having to go up and down and up and down and up and down a lot of steps retrieving her bags of puzzle pieces. Michelle was even further behind the other 5 players than Jacqueline was in the number 4 entry against Natalie. And in fact, speaking of Natalie, it was Natalie who led the pack against Michelle in this challenge 11 seasons later. Natalie lapped Michelle. It seemed like Michelle just stood no hope, but believe it or not, this was Michelle's challenge to lose. Despite being so far behind everyone else, being just lapped by the leader, the puzzle at the top was a 3-tiered tower and had only ever been done once before. Yeah. It was only ever completed by Michelle 8 seasons prior in season 32. And she wouldn't be in this video for nothing. She did it again.
Ty's got a lot of pieces going. Is he close? Michelle getting closer to that first level. Michelle has been dead last, but she is making a comeback. Michelle has the first level. Ty getting closer and closer to winning immunity. Michelle trying to catch him. Ty starting to pick up his pace. She's got it. Michelle moving on to the 3rd level. Can Michelle catch Ty? This would be a huge come from behind for Michelle. She was in last this entire challenge. Michelle has it. Michelle wins individual immunity. Nobody saw that coming. Is Michelle still working on that 2-plank bridge? It does take more time. Everybody has to do it. Natalie with her 3rd and final bag. Natalie gonna get in on the puzzle. She's gonna lap Michelle heading up those steps. You're still in it, Michelle. You know this puzzle.
So do you, Jay.
Michelle did this puzzle and she won. That could be the difference. It is everybody but Michelle working on the puzzle. It's a 3-tier puzzle, so you're looking to measure these pieces so they all are the same height. It would be a massive comeback for Michelle to get back in this. Michelle has her first tier. That is a big advantage right now. Everybody looking over to see what she did.
Y'all are a bunch of cheaters.
Michelle is trying to make a giant comeback right now. Michelle is on fire right now. Very quickly, Michelle has her 2nd tier. Literally everybody just looking at what Michelle is doing, trying to find the matching pieces.
That's it.
That is it! Michelle wins individual immunity.
The second greatest comeback in Survivor is one of my personal favorites because it is such a brilliant, big brain, come from behind victory that you wouldn't see coming. In season 18, Tocantins, at the final 6, Steven wins immunity after being lapped by several other players. Steven seemed completely out of it. He was flailing on the balance beam, he got stuck in the sand, he almost seemed like he just didn't even care, like he was even trying. He seemed exhausted. At the end of this obstacle course, the players had to memorize 10 math symbols to plug into an equation. So obviously speed was important, but Steven proved that memory was even more important. He took his sweet, sweet time, memorized all 10 symbols in one go, and returned to his station to seal the deal, just narrowly edging out JT. Also, upon further inspection, I double-checked JT's math, and it wasn't right. So Steven very much took this one by a commanding finish out of nowhere. Be the wizard, Steven. Be the wizard.
JT having a big lead right now. Memorize as many of those symbols as you can in one shot. Steven gonna have to dig a lot more to squeeze through. Steven squeaks through. JT's across again. Steven cannot get across the balance beam. He's quickly falling out of this challenge. Steven heading back after being out there a long time. Steven back with his first set of symbols. He's out there a long time. How many can his brain hold? With only one look at the symbols, Steven's doing all of this on one pass. Steven thinks he has it. I got it. If he did it with only one look at the symbols. Steven is right. Steven wins immunity.
I made each symbol have it be a number, so I had plus is 1, divided by is 4, times is 3. And I know the brain can remember a 7-digit number because that's why phone numbers are 7 digits. So I divided it into 2 numbers. and just remember those two numbers.
So we finally got here. Let's talk about the greatest individual challenge comeback in Survivor history. I think many of you might know where I'm going with this. It is from the final four of season 28, Cagayan, when Cass came from behind, a good 10 to 15 minutes behind, might I add, and managed to finish her puzzle ahead of the brains of Spencer and Tony. And Wu was there too. Players began perched on a tiny platform in the ocean. They had to fill up a tube with a bucket to raise a key. They would then take that key, go to the shore, get their puzzle pieces unlocked, and solve a 14-piece vertical puzzle. The problem was Cass was awful at the tube filling part. She was really bad. She missed a lot. She was barely a third the way finished when Tony was unlocking his puzzle on the shore. To make it even worse, at one point she got her rope tangled up with the tube and had to climb down to untangle it. And to make it all the more amusing, each player's loved one was there cheering them on. It was the loved one's visit. But Spencer gets stumped on the puzzle with 10 pieces in place, and Cass finally arrives and methodically takes care of business. Not so chaotic for a change. And it was the greatest comeback that we have ever seen in Survivor history. And Jeff, and I think a lot of Spencer fans, were at a loss for words.
Everybody off to a quick start except Cass. Nervous this high up, the wind is blowing. Nothing's easy when you get to day 37 on Survivor. He has the key, jump in, you're done here.
I can't jump in, Jay. I don't know how to swim.
Tony gonna lose some time, he's gotta climb down. Once again, Tony with an early lead in an immunity challenge.
Tony, you're on blue.
It is the same showdown we had at the last challenge. Tony had an early lead, but Spencer caught him and passed him. Cass having a lot of trouble getting the water in the chute. Cass still struggling out on the perch. An absolute disaster. Cass rope stuck now on the challenge. Cass back in it.
There you go, babe.
Gotta get that bucket up and get some more water in that chute. Cass has her key, get in the water.
Jump, baby.
No, Cass is good in puzzles, but she's lost a ton of time to Spencer, Wu, and Tony. Cass was completely out of this challenge, but she's still fighting. Tony swaps one piece for another. Cass is definitely back in this challenge after a horrible beginning. Spencer down to a few pieces left. Cass down to a few pieces left. Cass 2 pieces away from one of the biggest comebacks this season. Cass wins individual immunity. Incredible comeback. I have run out of superlatives to describe the amount of comebacks this season. Couldn't have come at a better time.
And that's going to be it for the top 10 greatest individual challenge comebacks in Survivor. So let me know what you think about this list. If there's anything I missed, any other honorable mentions. Also, I do want to do this for tribe challenge comebacks in the future, so if you want to throw any of those out there, I will consider them. I did find it curious that most of these were from more modern seasons, but maybe that's just saying something about Survivor challenge design, not sure. But either way, a huge thank you to my patrons for coming back month after month. They say don't call it a comeback, but you know what? I think that is what exactly is going on. Regardless, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to sandbag your challenge prowess so you can then turn on the boosters in the post-merge. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel on your way out. And I will see you in the next one, once I flip this vid on its head and talk about the greatest blown leads and vocal cords in Survivor Challenge history.
All about communication. The tribe who communicates together the best will succeed. Third.
Left! Keep! Drop! Keep! Drop it! Drop!
I can't hear.
Go!
Dietz continues to wait for help, like waiting to get called on in class. Teacher doesn't see him.
Yes, we need help! I'm yelling at someone else!
I can't hear.
KO on dead last right now.
Hey!
I can't hear.
Dietz, like the guy at the party that no one will talk to, waiting for an invitation to dance. Joe in a full-on sprint. KO now in the lead with 15.
Straight back, Joe!
Big comeback to KO came from dead last. KO with 1 piece left.
Yes!
KO wins immunity.
I can't hear.